Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Asian Report, and looking at CBA here in Elliott wave terms on the monthly chart. We can see from the GFC side here that we've had a corrective move here as an A, B and C for wave 4, and then we're looking at an impulse wave to the upside of wave 1 and 2 and 3 and wave 4 here and wave 5. So we're looking closely at this particular low here. There may be another low to come in. It's going to take us a few weeks to gather the evidence for any sort of move to the upside. Yes, there is some volume coming in. And we also know too that while this has been correcting, we've seen the resources, if I just use BHP here for a weekly chart here, has been moving to the upside here. We've been counting the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the last sort of structure in here. I won't go into that at the moment, but once this trend here finishes, well, it will finish because partly the money will be swapping from resources as this corrects back down through here and as this pushes up through here. So those funds will flow. They do flow back and forth from those markets. So yeah, it will be time for this to push up here. But one of the reasons I'm showing this for is that this should also lead the, once this starts here, should lead the ASX higher, because we know that if the CBA and say finance and resources moving together, then we tend to see really strong moves in the ASX 200. Otherwise, we have resources and finance basically fighting one another for capital. So with that in mind, with a move up for CBA and the ASX 200 here, we've been looking at this as wave 3 here and either wave 4 here, or we've also been looking at a possible wave 4 over here, and we'll look at that in a moment. But the move up through here can count like this as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here, and then up for wave 5 here, so finishing in a new high here, and then having an A, B and C correction here. But also too, there is the possibility that this wave A can be here, wave B here, and wave C coming down over here, but we don't have to really worry about that for the time being. We need to see how this finishes in here, and if we do get one more push up into well, above this particular high here is the main point, and then that would finish off there as such, and would see our ABC correction from here. This has on the cash market moved higher than this move here. We could look at this as a B wave in here as well. Where have I got that? Minutes, hours. No, that's the same one. It's probably the 4-hour chart. Sorry about that. Right, so there is the possibility of looking at it like this as well. So the move up here into wave 1 here, an A wave here, and then an A and a B and a C. We've basically been tracking that, and we'll talk about this here in a moment. This has got the same sort of pattern here, coming up here strongly and coming down for the A wave, an A and a B and a C here. And it's okay for the B wave here to take out the top here, by the way. We don't normally see that, however, with a wave 1. We don't see an expanded flat correction in wave 1 and 1 to 2. It's normally in wave 3 to 4. It's not that it's impossible, because I've seen it before in especially in the FX market, but an expanded flat would have a move up as a top, come down as a corrective wave, then make a new high, then make a new low, and then push off here. So it is possible for that. And the reason that I want to keep this here for, some of the Asian markets are like this too. So if I put the Nifty here, for example, we can count 5 waves up here for the Nifty. We can look at that as wave 1 or wave B, then down for the A wave, an A and a B and a C for the B wave, and then down for the C wave here for this market. So this is the daily chart, of course, and this one here is just a 4-hour chart, but they they have the same pattern, basically moving through there, such as the A, the B, and the C, the A, the B, and the C wave here. So I just wanted to point those out. And the ASX has been moving in opposition to most of the other markets around the world, with this particular trend to the upside here. So yeah, but coming back to just the daily chart here, this looks like the logical move here. But to confirm this move here, what we do need to see is we need to see one more move up above this high here. And then we can look at this as an ABC, and this will be rather sort of sharp in this sense here. And then any push up from this move here, I think this is where the banking sector can take us higher. So this is what we'll be sort of focusing on and trying to figure that out at that point. But let's just go into the hourly chart here and just sort of focus on that area here. So what we've been looking at here is this move to the upside here. And we know that any move above the 6,100, as I mentioned before, we would be looking at it as more of a bullish market. So this has been also a little bit difficult to count down through here as well, but the best fit I can see is wave 1 here and wave 2 here, then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. There is a bit of a problem with that makes wave 3 the shortest here, but I know that when we run into strong numbers, it can skew the wave count a bit. The move down through here appears to be corrective in nature. So I'll just go into the tick chart here. So yeah, so from this top here, I'm looking at this as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here, with 5 waves down here. We can look at that in a moment. Which would leave this here at the moment, if this is correct as an A and a B and a C here, then we'd look at this as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 for 1 and back for 2, and then all the way up here for 3. So wave 4 can pull back into the top of group 1 area through here, and probably come down. It can come down when we're looking at corrections here. We can come down to either the 6,125, or maybe even a tad lower, but the 38.2% retracement level comes in pretty much around the 130 area here. So same with the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree. So yes, we need to be a little bit mindful of that. So the other support here, excuse me, still getting over that bronchitis or the flu, just really sort of hung in there. So that's the 61.8% of this particular structure here, So a move below that would consider it in bearish mode at that point. So if the 6,120 becomes a retested resistance, then we know that we'll be coming down from that point there. So just bear that in mind. That number there would flip the market bearish, but otherwise we'll look for one more move up into the group 2 area here, the 65, 72. And 80 here, and this one here, we've spent a little bit of time on this one here, so just to bring that in a little bit here. So the A wave here, the B wave here, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. Might even be better on the 20 tick chart. This is where I did the actual work for that here. So I mean, it's the subtleties that we have to work out, which are the important. So we can look at this as wave A here and wave B here, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 for wave 1 and back for wave 2, then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for the 3rd wave, the 4th wave, and the 5th wave here. So this move up through here at this stage here, this is why I've got to be careful, because we've counted it as wave 1 here and 2 here, but realistically here we can have it as an ABC pattern here as well, in that in that space. So yeah, let's just see how we go. But while we were going to be bullish while the market was above 6100, so now we can move that to 6120. So while the market's above that, we can stay bullish as well. But this is the wave 4 here of one lesser degree, basically. So we don't really want to see it come down past that. If it does, then we know that it's bearish at that point. And speaking of bearish markets, we can look at Hong Kong here that we've had a short trade on. So we can look at this in a couple of ways. It still comes out really in the same same space. So wave 3 up here, an A wave here, an A and a B and a C wave here. But I don't like the C wave here because it doesn't really give us a 5-wave structure here. But we do have a 5-wave structure down here that makes it a bit easier. It's wave 1 and wave 2 here, and wave 3, 4 and 5. So this is in the bigger picture for wave 4 here. The 28,000 is the 38.2% retracement level, and that would also give wave C here and wave A roughly the same length as well. This can also be counted as a triangle pattern through here, so as we've been looking at. So just bring this into view here on the 4-hour chart. So wave 3 here, an A wave here, the B wave way over here, and the C wave down here, and this would be an A and a B and a C and a D and an E wave here. So that counts okay, but the only trouble with this is that wave D here has got 5 waves in it, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here, so both of those counts have got something technically wrong within them. So yeah, but anyway, so what I've done here, we had our short trade in here. We've brought the stop from down here to down here. You can bring it further down into here if you like. We looked at taking 50% profit on here because we're unsure of the bounce, and this could certainly retest here, back here, before it moves down through here as well. So don't exit this trade unless the 30,000 becomes the support for the 30,000 area here. So we'll stay short on that. And also to sort of help that along a little bit is the China A50. So we were looking at this in a couple of different ways, but we're looking at a possible low being in here already on this one, but we still had our long trade here and our short trade under this one here. So we can remove that or just turn that to the stop now with that. And in fact, we can also bring this a little bit lower into this little high here. So this here would have to call as wave 1 here and wave 2 here, and then coming down for wave 3 here, but wave 3 is not finished. So if I look at this as 1 and 2 and then 1 and 2, so I can just see here that we've got that's to finish that, that's to finish that, and then there'll be a 4th and there'll be 5th down here. So we've still got something like that to go. So we can be looking down at around the 11,000 mark for this to play out here as well. We can look at this in a bit more detail later. I'll have to go to 4-hour chart and create some labeling for that at that point. The Nikkei here, a little bit like the Australian market and the Nifty really, and this probably can be counted in 2 different ways as well here. So we're going to be very mindful of this, because this can also be, if I can copy this over here, this can be wave 1 here, copy that, and wave 2 here. And in this case, then the Nifty and this market, and possibly even Australia, be the same in terms of an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here. This has still got more to play out here as such, but we'll see how it plays out once it once it finishes this 5-wave sequence down through to here. Then we'll have a look to see if this is an ABC pattern here, and one way we could do that is look at that high to that low, get the 61.8% mark, and then if we get 3 waves to the 61.8% mark, we'll know it'll be corrective and we can look to short. If we get 5 waves to the 61.8% mark, we'll know it's bullish. That's not in the textbooks, but I always found it very handy as a little little thing that I've noticed. So yeah, that's in that vein there. All right, I think I'll leave it at that. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.